Good morning, everybody. Our local character this week is the Agnes Mittermayr. You may know her from her TED Talk last year or from the Center for Coastal Studies, where she's worked for a few years. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for making some time. So tell everybody a little bit about how you found P-Town.
By coincidence, I first got here 8 years ago. I was doing research on seagrass for my PhD, and I left again, I finished up, and I came back, and I haven't left since.
So it's home now.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And I loved the TED Talk. I learned
thank
so
you.
much in 13 minutes. Can you tell us a little bit about Keystone Species, particularly here in town?
So a keystone species can be anything, really. And it's the one part of, imagine a Jenga tower. You know, the game we used to play as kids, or drinking.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yes. when you pull out one brick, the whole thing can crumble.
Right.
And this one brick is the keystone species in this case. And around here, there's, especially in the seagrass beds, the keystone species is a very small, inconspicuous creature. It's about this big. It's called amphipod or side swimmer, and it's food for a lot of animals, and it's also helping the eelgrass grow by grazing off all the algae that keep it from getting enough light. And without that little creature, we wouldn't have the ecosystem we have here.
Right. Like, I didn't know so much about how sort of intertwined it all. It's very circle of life.
It's all connected, yes.
Yeah.
So Agnes, tell us a little bit about Spinnaker.
This is Spinnaker. Spinnaker is a humpback whale, and she was disentangled a bunch of times. And this is her last entanglement. She washed up a few years ago in Acadia, and now she's home. You can see the rope that made its way through the roof of her mouth, and this is part of some fishing gear that we put in the ocean and left.
In normal times, people can come and take a tour of the
Yes,
coastal studies.
yes.
We're not supposed to be in here.
There's all the film festival, well, a shorts film festival going on right now until Sunday, where you can see a documentary, about 20-minute documentary about Spinnaker, how she got here, what happened to her.
How long
just
ago
online?
did she
That's online, yes.
die?
I'm sorry?
How long ago did she?
4 years.
That's incredible. Pick up your trash.
Pick up your
people.
trash. Pick up your trash.
Awesome.
I'll send you pictures.
Connected. And so your work is focused on making sure the ecosystem continues and has biodiversity.
Yes, well, first we have to figure out all the connections. And once we know, we can go about protecting what we have in a more efficient way.
Mm-hmm. How's it looking?
It's not as bad as we would think,
Oh, good.
luckily. We have just started a big project off of Harbor Hotel here in town. And I've been looking at samples just yesterday, and we found an incredible amount of species diversity, much more than I thought we would. It's all small creatures. None of them is bigger than an inch. Usually that's the creatures that are the base of the food web. So it's good. It's good.
Are you vegan or vegetarian?
I am not.
Because that was one of my favorite things in the TED Talk, where you basically were like,
did,
those
yeah.
people would die or move away.
I did check with my vegan friends if it was okay for me to say that, and they all gave me their blessing. So
I guess we have the omnivore blessing.
Yes, yes. It's always better to be spread out, to be flexible, not just for animals, for us too.
And it's going to sound like I know a lot of this stuff already, but I really did find all this out by watching you. But there are 200,000 named marine species now.
Yes, something like that.
And scientists predict that that's only about 30% of what's actually in there.
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
So there's some giant deep sea monsters somewhere, do you think?
Maybe, yeah, maybe. We don't know.
Right.
I really, really hope to discover a species one day, and then you get to name it, and I already have a few names.
Like what? Not Game of Thrones
like
characters.
there are a couple of worms that are named after Hodor and Arya, and there's some Beyonce has quite a few insects named after her. Also, Lady Gaga has a fern named after her. But I would be either sentimental and name it after my mom,
That's so sweet.
or I would do something unusual and name it after, I don't know, bananas or whatever.
You did make a point about if we all focused even a tiny bit of what we spend supporting conservation of cute mammals towards conservation of these teeny, very important parts of our ecosystem. Like, are there some charities or websites where people can go to maybe send some money?
Funny you mentioned that. We just started an auction at the Center for Coastal Studies. We have a Fund a Need website and an auction website. I can send you the link later. And
All right.
yeah.
Awesome. And one more thing before I let you go. So how I actually met Agnes was at a socially distant, responsible, masked outdoor birthday party, must be said,
Yes.
where somebody was like, oh, you have to go try this homemade beer. My friend Agnes made this beer. And I was like, somebody made and brought their own beer, and that's this lady.
Yes, that's
so
me.
This is just like a little fun hobby on the side.
Yeah, I started about 4 years ago. My neighbor moved away and he left me with all his equipment. And now I'm growing my own hops, and I'm making beer for occasions, really, if it's somebody's birthday or if there's a party, which we don't have anymore.
Right.
But I like to make like chocolate stouts for Christmas or IPAs in the summer. Yeah.
And have you ever thought about contacting the guys at the brewery and striking up a deal?
Actually, I have. We'll see what comes of it. Yeah.
All
I
right.
have some recipes.
If I have any sway with them at all, like this is my mission now, is to bring Agnes's beer into the brewery. So keep an eye out, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And good luck discovering a species to call your own.
Yes. Yeah, I hope so.
We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.